Here is my overview for Sales Navigator, specifically for professional services, and why fundamentally I believe it's an absolute must-have for the modern business development, key client program, both BD and for fee earners where it makes sense. Fundamentally, we have to think of Sales Navigator as a CRM system for LinkedIn. There is no algorithm, there is no marketing, there's no anything. It only shows you the information that you tell it to. Therefore, your home feed is unique to you based on the setup. If you have Salesforce or Microsoft Dynamics, then this can fully sync with both those CRM systems, and you can bring your book of business, as we see here on the top right, directly into Sales Navigator, making this much slicker process. You can also upload CSV files or spreadsheets. If you've got list of accounts, you can upload again those directly into Sales Navigator, speeding up this process. Your home feed always defaults to all alerts here, and we see a number of alerts from different people and organizations. This is split into an account, which in simple terms is an organization, and a lead, which in simple terms is a person. You can now create your list, so you can filter your account list by whatever you want. So if I click on test key client list here, I can now see the varying signals that are happening across these organizations. So, for example, I can see here that Barclays are researching us on LinkedIn. If I click view more on this button here, this will then fire up the persona of individual that is looking at us on LinkedIn. This is company pages, this is corporate website visits, this is profile views, and potentially ad engagements if your marketing teams are running paid campaigns on LinkedIn. We can see where organizations are mentioned in the news. We can see where individuals have looked at your profile across organizations that you have saved. The same rules apply for your leads. You can then start to create lead lists and specifically look at what is happening across those organizations. So here is my CEOs across my test key clients. And now I'm not connected to these CEOs. I haven't met these individuals, but now I can see what they are sharing on LinkedIn. And if I want to look at that further, just click view here. And then very quickly, it fires up a sidebar. And then I can see what Stuart has been sharing. As far as Stuart's concerned, if I then drop a like or a comment on this post, that is happening on LinkedIn. But what is also then happening is I'm triggering the algorithm on LinkedIn. So then if I choose to engage further, post on LinkedIn, I am bringing Stuart into my field of view, but also I am putting myself into Stuart's field of view. So this is where, for example, if you're a client lead partner of an organization, Sales Navigator can be really helpful just to keep on top of what the leadership teams are doing, posting, engaging on social in a very short period of time. This can literally be your 5 minute a day first thing you do in the morning to see what is happening. Or if you're a BD lead or a CRM lead, whatever it might be, you can get Sales Navigator set up so that you have this very specific and laser focused approach to what is happening across your accounts. You have the account hub here, which is a summary across all of your accounts. So we've got my test key client list selected here. And again, if you've got it synced into CRM, you can see upcoming deals, moderate or high buyer intent. This is around those 4 activities I mentioned. This is corporate page engagement on LinkedIn. This is profile page engagement at an individual level. This is website engagement, your own corporate website. If you have your marketing team plugs in LinkedIn Insights Tag Manager. And then finally, if you're running ads, you're serving paid ads on LinkedIn, this will be showing you high ad engagement across that. Category intent is a relatively new one. You can add up to, well, it's got 30,000 categories you can put in here. I've specifically looked at sales intelligence software, customer relationship management software, and I think sales training. So all these organizations are exhibiting intent or interest in these products or services. I can then, for example, click here on Barclays, click on these 95 employees, and this will then show me the 95 people at Barclays that are showing buying signals towards this product set, to help you narrow down your potential target audience in terms of who you should be speaking to. LinkedIn are coy at the moment around how this is being served, but it can help you get a better picture of maybe where your buying circle is and where your relationships there are in. Account alerts, and then here in terms of recommendations, Sales Navigator is consistently trying to help you understand where the next best course of action might be, who the next best person to talk to might be. The more that you teach it, the more powerful this becomes. And LinkedIn is also now starting to roll out AI, very, very early stages in this. I've yet to see it, into Sales Navigator to help us even further understand where the next best person and opportunity might be, subject to you setting it up by organization, by individual, by category intent, and also subject to you assuming you are running ads and you are also tracking web traffic, to give it as much data as possible to understand what is of interest. So this is what you get from your hub page. Then at an organizational level, if we choose, I'm going to choose Microsoft by way of example, just to go to the Microsoft page, but this is the same across everything that we are seeing. You have your Relationship Explorer here. So again, the system is constantly trying to help you find the next best person to get to through things like past colleagues. So Tom I used to work with, Lorraine I used to work with at PwC. So let's say I want to reach out to Lorraine, I can reference the fact that we are alumni from PwC, or there are other possible routes in here that I can use. Again, you can change seniority levels, you can filter this by specific functions, by job functions, by region. Full filter search here to help you really narrow down the specific, what LinkedIn sometimes referred to as multi-threading approaches, to find out where the next best person is for you to talk to within your relationship. Account map is going to be turned into the relationship map. I've seen this in beta. It's very cool, where you'll be able to score relationship strengths. If you're pulling in CRM data, we'll make this much more powerful. Plus, again, we're being told from the product team that we will start to see AI layered into this over the next 6 months or so, to help us start to create hierarchy trees within your target organizations. Then here is the buyer intent perspective. So here we got an example of high email acceptance, company page engagement, profile views, individuals at your level, corporate level, etc. And then if I drive down further, we can see the type of insight that you are getting around who is seeing what, company pages, etc., etc. Ad engagement, company page engagement. So lots of signals as to what's specifically happening on LinkedIn, to give you a sense of where the engagement might be coming from. We keep scrolling through, you get this type of data, which, subject to your approach, may or may not be helpful to making decisions around where to target, or who to target, or why to target. People also viewed makes sense. And then here, this is specifically to Microsoft as an organization, so you can see the movements. Useful ones for me are things like new decision makers. So very quickly, across all of the organization, you can see new decision makers. And then career changes, are people getting promoted or moving out of the organization, again at a global level. So whilst this is helpful potentially to see some very senior levels, maybe not so helpful if you're managing large organizations. But now much more insight as to what is happening across your accounts. Then we can start to map. So I can look now across all employees at Sales Navigator. Forgive me, at Microsoft. So we start from the top. We have all these filters here, and then fundamentally, it's whatever is your route to your buyer. So we can do things such as, what business function do you want to focus on? Maybe I want to be focusing on the marketing function. So you click include, click on marketing. And then from this perspective, I can then go down a little bit further around where are they going to be based. So I only want to look at those based in the United Kingdom. We can select seniority levels. So maybe I'm only interested in the CXO suite. So we're going to find let's do one VP. Let's do director. And now you can see narrowed it down to 41 results, and then you can start to build out an understanding of who is doing what. I can even click here in terms of who's posted on LinkedIn. So straight away, I can now start to see where the potential engagement is. So I can see Samit here, 2 recent posts. I can then get a sense of what he's pushing, or I can go and click on this and then engage in conversation with Samit to try and create that awareness of me as a person. We can keep track of those who have changed jobs in the last 30 days, sorry, 90 days. And then from here, this is where we can get Sales Navigator to work for you. So I can click Save Search here. And then if I were to set up a Save Search, whilst I wouldn't see this information in my homepage, every time somebody changes role within Microsoft, either promotes or joins that meets this criteria, at the end of each week, you get an email digest from LinkedIn Sales Navigator updating you on what is happening. Other things that we can look at, maybe you want to target the legal function. So again, you can do function here, but maybe I want to do a keyword search. So I can do general counsel. And then I'm now looking for any general counsel within Microsoft. Here we've got 832 results, same principles. I can look at, okay, so who's following my company page? I click on this button here, and now I've got some insights as to who is following the corporate page. If you see people that are following the corporate page that you're not connected to, I would suggest sending them a connection request. How can you learn to understand more about what they found interesting and why they started to follow? I've got past colleague here. I can click on past colleagues and go, oh my goodness, we used to work with each other. And now I use this as a route in to find a potential new conversation with somebody in an account based on the fact that we worked with a change job. Same principles. I can save this search to track who is changing roles across this organization and so on. So the keyword search, you can go as far and wide as you want. Maybe I'm looking specifically for those that are focusing on ESG within Microsoft, or it could be a bank, it could be a tech company. 341 results here. Same principles. You move through all of this. What you also have is something called Team Link, which certainly helps at scale. So Team Link here creates a virtual network. So those of you watching, imagine you and I work for the same organization. We're both on LinkedIn, but we're not connected. We might have relationships on LinkedIn, which could help each other unlock a referral opportunity. But because we're not connected, we will never see those relationships. By coming onto Sales Navigator, it creates a virtual connection. So through Team Link in Microsoft, I can click on Team Link pretty quickly, and then straight away I can see I've got 4,000 potential routes into introductions at Microsoft through these Team Link connections. And the same principle, I can maybe do a keyword search here on ESG or general counsel or litigation or electric vehicles, and now I've got actually a route in via a colleague to help me create that conversation and that opportunity. Other things that you can consider is okay, let's imagine I work for PwC. I used to work for PwC, or I do work for PwC. So, what any alumni across the organization? Here we go. There are 7 alumni who happen to be in the ESG space. If I take out ESG space, we can see there are over 1,000 alumni from PwC at Microsoft. So many different ways you can change these filters. You can use these filters. You can bring in your CRM data to see your CRM in there. You can create all different personas. So you can really create a unique data set based on what you're trying to achieve. And the key thing is, what is the shortest route to a conversation with that person? Other considerations that you can give if you're running an industry approach. So through lead filters here, I'm looking at everything. Again, let's imagine I'm a law firm and I want to find my alumni. So let's go with Allen and Overy, for example. Let's imagine I work at Allen and Overy and I want to find all our alumni who are general counsel. So here we go, general counsel, and we've got 2,500 GCs on LinkedIn who used to work at A&O at some point in their career. And again, I can then maybe decide, okay, what industries am I going to focus on? So I want to focus on the financial services industry, or I want to focus on the let's do FS because it's just here. So I can then see that I'm at A&O and there are 485 GCs in the FS space. I can create Save Search, so I'm tracking all the GCs across that industry. I can create a job change search across this, and I'm tracking the GCs X A&O, or it could be any law firm, etc. Create that Save Search, and now automatically Sales Navigator is going to help me understand the movements that are happening across an industry level. We could go Big Four consulting, for example. So let's imagine I work for EY, and I want to track the CFO. So now, rather than do a keyword search, maybe I'm going to do exactly a job function. So I'm going to go chief. So this is very specifically looking for the job title, and we can see there are 13 CFOs on LinkedIn who used to work for EY at some point in their career. And again, I want to go company headquarters, or I could go following company. I can do job changes. I can do posted on LinkedIn. I only want those at maybe less than a year in role. So the less than a year in role might present opportunity, and I'm only interested from a geography perspective in terms of, let's do North America to narrow it down. So now I've got 609 results. I can then drill this down further by industry and create a really nice, neat, automated leads list, create Safe Search, and let LinkedIn just track what's happening for you across it. So you can slice and dice the data through your lead searches as far and wide as as your mind will take you. Again, if you've got this synced with CRM, you can start to bring this data back into CRM, match up your CRM data between Salesforce and Microsoft Dynamics, and then start to help you have a much richer view of what is happening across this. But you can see it within CRM. People change roles, updates. Once you've created that match, you'll get flag in CRM to update you. These people have changed roles. Some other considerations that you maybe want to do from an account perspective. For me, maybe you are looking for all these types of parameters to set up. But for me, maybe you're in the tech space or the fast growing space. Recent activity is funding events. So now you can track funding events across the business, or across LinkedIn, and you can choose company headcount. So let's say maybe I want to go to this size, so then maybe in scale up, and we can see here 870 funding events. And if I want to go to, I'm just going to pick one here, click on funding event. It tells you what they did, and then you've got some signals around, okay, they raised, is now the right time to go and have a conversation, because this is the right time to now get legal advice. This is where they need advice on managed services. This is where they need advice on international expansion. Whatever your kind of go-to-market is. Again, you can click this Save Search button here, and then Sales Navigator does the hard yards for you. You get your email digest on a weekly basis, just to let you know all the movements that are happening. So fundamentally, where you get to is your homepage. By saving people as leads, you will then get, this is my view would be your next 12 months of business. So you're having conversations, you've identified opportunity, you want to start to engage with these people and find the shortest route to a conversation, and then use the who's posting what on LinkedIn to remain front of mind, get front of mind, create that engagement, drive the algorithm to your favor. So you're creating that visibility and that consistency through to your saved searches. Your saved searches is where Sales Navigator then becomes your business development assistant for LinkedIn. It's automatically tracking the sales triggers that will give you insight as to now is the right time to reach out. Now is the right time to find that team link introduction, to create a conversation, get that conversation out of LinkedIn as quickly as possible, to then turn that into business opportunity, record that into your CRM system. Then over time, you'll be able to start to prove how social and Sales Navigator is generating and creating pipeline, which could be in the hundreds of millions. The biggest projects I've worked on, we proved close to $700 million worth of business over a 12-month period because they had the full sync with Microsoft Dynamics. This was a professional service firm that I was working with. So Sales Navigator for me is now an invaluable tool for the professional services industry in terms of helping you just track what is happening across the most powerful and the most up-to-date CRM system on the planet.